Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus pilot and welcome back to another long haul in the FSLabs Airbus A321neo. Today we're going to fly the third and last of the current Scandinavian Airlines Airbus A321 routes, and that's from Copenhagen to Toronto. I'm sure this is going to be a pretty interesting one, and our catering is already commencing, so let's lose no time and go right into our aircraft. Since you guys liked it so much on the last time, I am once again going to do this one from the first officer's seat over here. For both airports we are using the Flight Tamper sceneries, which, while not officially compatible, work absolutely fine in the new simulator if you just copy-paste the community folders. So really recommended to do that. Okay then, so we're in our flight deck and we can start with our workflow. So engine master levers off, mode selector norm, weather radar off, landing gear down, wipers off, batteries more than 25.5 volts. Then we can turn on the ADRs and do the APU fire test, because it's rather hot outside and we will definitely start the APU straight away. So APU master switch on and APU starter switch on. Now, they have still not connected the jetway, which is once again interesting. Let's just go down here onto request and let's do request. No, where is it? Operate jetway. Here it is. Operate jetway. Okay, cool. So before we get into the rest, a quick message from today's sponsor, Say Intentions AI. If you're looking for an ATC add-on that is not only doing your standard IFR A to B flight, but that's also doing things like data link, things like VFR, and even as a cabin crew simulation, then look no further than Say Intentions AI. I'm sure that you're going to like it, but if you have any doubts, you can always try the 24-hour free demo version. Now, you will also see it in action in today's video, so if you like what you see, check them out using the link in the video description or the pinned comment below. And now let's get right into it. So, we've now powered our airplane up into a lovely shape. The last thing I want to do here, APU available, APU bleed on, let's get the bleed going. Because the temperatures inside, as you can see, 31 degrees, we don't necessarily want that. And it's 22 outside, so definitely a good reason to cool it down a bit. Now let's go into our EFB and have a look at today's briefing. We'll start right down here with the weather charts and, well, where's the top one? Here it is. So we are departing Copenhagen exactly westbound, then we're crossing the northern tip of Scotland and we'll follow NutTrack Alpha all the way over and then down to Toronto. Weather-wise, there is a lot of low-level stuff here, but nothing high level, so everything's good all the way over on the first half. On the second half we have that area number 1 here, which is clear air turbulence up to flight level 300, so we should be able to fly on top of that. And then we've got area number 2 over here, which is a small area of moderate turbulence about 2 hours before landing. Also note there are a couple of CP forecasts in the area around Toronto over the Great Lakes, so who knows what we're going to find at our destination. Well, the forecast knows, so let's have a look. Departing Copenhagen, we've got pretty much beautiful weather conditions, and arriving in Toronto right now, the weather is superb. Temperature 30 degrees, beautiful summer day out there, but there is a little bit of gusts forecast, nothing significant. I don't expect any problems. Our alternate is going to be London, and the weather over in London is absolutely perfect, as you can see. The secondary alternate, we do have Montreal, which is very good as well. Then let's head up into our flight plan. If we depart on time at 1100, then we're going to arrive on time as well. Flight level 320, later on flight level 340 after the track. And in terms of our weights, well, no problem whatsoever. Now, let's have a look at the fuel section. 23.5 is the, or 23.6 is the minimum. I don't see that we are going to fly any lower than necessary, and I don't think we're going to fly much faster either. So let's take 300 kilos for APU usage down here. Let's just round it up. Let's make it 24 tons, and that's all we are going to need. So 24 tons is decided. In terms of the aircraft's technical shape, let's just have a look here. It's only the galley oven trays that are dirty, so nothing to worry about at all. Okay, beautiful. So that much out of the way, let's get down into our ATSU and do our flight initialization. AOC menu, init, let's wait and see, Scandinavian 949, that's correct, and initialize data request. Now, in order to handle my MCDU, I'm using my WinWing MCDU, which I can really recommend, by the way. Pretty cheap and absolutely awesome experience to use. So that's going to be me, and then we'll have a captain as well. Alright, so let's get into it then. OFP data, block fuel, 24 tons. Here we go. Scheduled time of departure. Oh, look at that. I misset my simulator time. Well, let's fix that. It was 43, so 10:40. Yeah, it's 10:44 now. That's fine. Scheduled time of departure is 1100. Okay, so that's all looking good. Let's see. It says flight plan number 1 in the uplink, and it is flight plan number 1 indeed. Okay, so that's all looking good. Send that out, and then we can head into our boarding. Now, catering is already in progress. Water is full, catering is full, and they can pretty much start the boarding now. Alright, because the catering is completed. Very good. So, that's all the stuff we had to do down here. Let's just collect the ATIS. Here we go. And that's all we can do. So, just a quick check. FMGC, A321-200, Leap 1A engine, nav database is up to date. We can delete any of that previous stuff down here. And then on the init page, it's uplinked the correct flight. That's all we want to see for now. We'll do the rest later. Now for our aircraft's technical acceptance. It's a brand new aircraft, third flight. So, I don't expect anything. The dirty oven is okay. I don't really mind that. Yeah, so aircraft's technical acceptance is good. Just to review, we're in an A321neo, and we do have reduced go-around installed. We do have automatic nav on go-around installed. And that's it. Any questions? No? Beautiful. So then, let's do our preliminary takeoff data here. So if we just take 92 tons, we should be more than good to go. So, departing Copenhagen, runway is going to be 2 to right, and we'll calculate, Alpha 1. Or let's calculate Alpha 2, because that gives us a bit more margin. So, 92.1 is actually okay. So, calculate. All we're interested in is the performance limited takeoff weight, and that is 99.4, so we know that we can go. Excellent, that's all I needed. So now for our charts. Import, Copenhagen, pin, and look at that, it's pinned everything automatically. Beautiful. Okay, cool, so that's all I need. Then let's have a look into our ACARS. As you can see, we can do that on the EFB as well. So, weather Copenhagen, QNH 1014, perfect conditions. Load sheet preliminary, let's view that in the full. So, we're limited by max takeoff weight, 92.3, and all the stuff down here is looking good. Let's just see. Ordered fuel, 24,000, excellent. Cool, so reply and accept. And finally, we have a slot notification at 11:13, which we are hopefully going to make. It is, well, this is local time, so 10:47 now, off block in 13 minutes. Well, it's not going to be us if we don't make that. It started the fueling, that's good. All right, so oxygen is good, hydraulics are good, engine oil. For that, we gotta turn on the FADEC. So engine oil is full, lovely. Okay, sounds good. So the flaps are up and agree with the levers, spoilers are retracted, and the transponder is on standby. I like it. Alright, so releasing the brake, alternate brake jack, Looking okay. And park and brake is set again. Lovely. And the sound we just heard, yeah, interesting, was the GPU resetting. Well, let's turn the thing back on, because it saves a little bit of fuel. Alright, cool. So that's our cockpit, our preliminary cockpit preparation done. Now let's go into the cockpit preparation itself. Not that there would be all that much for us to do. Batteries are okay and charging. Fire tests. Looking good. And looking good. Alright, so might have some temperature sensitives today. I'll just set something here because why not? Everything's set up here, everything's set up here. Nice. So QNH 1014. 22nd of June 25. It's a dry runway. Down here everything's set. Weather radar is checked. So transponder number 2, since we're flying from the right side. The rest is looking good. Above, alt reporting on, squawk 2000. We'll do the frequencies a little bit later when we get there. And we of course want to make sure that we are transmitting and listening like this. Alright, cool. Then let's get straight into our FMS. Let's bring up the SimBrief plan over here. Okay, so Copenhagen, Toronto, alternate London, Scandinavian 949, cost NX21, flight level 320. So, departing Copenhagen, runway 22 right, and we've got the Auto 1 Charlie departure. Insert, and for arrival, let's see what they've planned for us. 2-3. I am not convinced that that's going to happen, but for the time being, let's program it. We can always change it if it becomes necessary. So, IMEBA arrival, which is the IMEBA 9, starting at Yankee X-Ray India, which we actually don't have. I have a feeling that we need to look at the charts. So, arrivals, Toronto, star. I'll tell you what, let's do the pinned. So, IMEBA 9, runway 23, and we are not coming in from any of those. Well, Yankee X-Ray India, direct IMEBA, and from there we join the arrivals. So, well, then we are joining it from here. That's fine with me. Okay. So, insert. Now, let's go for the data. Next page, pilot route. And that's going to be CPH, Yankee Zulu. And we can store that. So, runway 2 to right, Auto 1 Charlie, Papa 60 Vaxit, direct RTX, direct Lambro, direct 40. And we have all of that. Direct Balix, then we follow the NAT Alpha towards Avuti, and we should have that down here. NAT Alpha is Balix, 61 north 20 west, 62 north 30 west, 61 north 40 west, 59 north 50 west, and Avuti, and that's where this one bugs out, because page 2 is missing. But let's just go down here, shouldn't be too difficult to check. We gotta go into the route anyway. So 6120 is really what it promises to be. 6230 is as well. 6140, checking the coordinates over here. It's looking good as well. 5950 is as well. And then we've got Avuti, which is at 58 west. That's good enough with me. Okay, cool. So let's just go right up to the top again. So, after Avuti, we are going to fly direct to Joby, Omtol, target, Yankee X-Ray India, IMEBA for the arrival, distance 3,440 versus 3,444. That's all close enough for my taste. Wonderful. So that stuff is checked. Then let's go for the engine outset, and that's going to be the CPH X5, I believe. Okay, insert EKCH22 right / what's the runway track? Let's take a sneak peek. 217. Straight ahead for 25 miles. PBD, create. Holding, 217 right turn, 1 mile. Looking good. And back to Copenhagen. 22 left. No star. No via. Here we go. Now, same thing for the fix info. EKCH22 right. 217. And in here we need the CPHX5. And that's it. Now let's go for the load sheet and let's hope that we have one already. So MCDU, ATSU, and received messages. Load sheet. That's 68.5 and 28.1. Okay, fuel 24. Now let's bring up our flight plan again. So alternate 1.1, final 1.1, contingency 1.1. Now this is kind of easy today. 200 kilos taxi. So it says 24 knots headwind, that's correct. And then let's go back into the flight plans. So step altitudes, level 340 at Avuti. And that does exactly nothing. Okay, fine. Well, actually it does save us 2 minutes, no change in the fuel. Well, we'll take it. If it's on the flight plan, we'll take it. So now for our performance. And we got a config 2 takeoff at 40 degrees. So conf 240 and the speed 686869 with 100 meter stop margin. And that's incredibly high speeds again. Okay, reduction in acceleration is going to be a noise abatement procedure number... Well, that's the question. Is it 1 or 2 over here? I think it's 1. Let's see. Charts, taxi, airport briefing. Don't we have airport briefing charts here? That's interesting. Oh no, that's Toronto. Okay, let's try Copenhagen. But nothing in here either. That is interesting. I'm 99% sure we should have some. But okay, in that case, if they don't tell us anything, then we're just going to turn it into noise abatement procedure number 2. So 1000, engine out 1500. And last but not least, EKCH22 right. And here we are. So why is the optimum not calculated? Because it's calculating nothing at all. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's do a wind data uplink. And with that, our FMS preparation is basically complete. Oh, now it's calculating. Okay. Or not. Interesting. We're getting our... Oh well. We'll not say anything. We'll just keep it at that. Okay, 1014 is in here. 70 is normally the initial climb, and everything else is set. Turn from flight deck. Mind your ears, oxygen test. Only half the test simulated, but okay, so be it. Alright, so everything else down here is basically set. Refueling is complete. Looks okay to me. Then you guys can disconnect the ground power as well. We're running on the APU. And then I will quickly say hello to our passengers. Which is of course a captain's task. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel in the name of Scandinavian Airlines. Welcome aboard our Airbus A321LR on our flight to Toronto. Today's flight time will be approximately 8 hours. We expect a mostly smooth flight. Some occasional turbulence can be expected. For the time being, we are just finishing up the latest paperwork, and then we will start our engines and taxi out for runway 22 and eventually make a turn towards the west, fly across Scotland and then across the North Atlantic all the way into Toronto. We're expecting a smooth flight. Sit back, relax and enjoy it, and we will get back to you from the flight deck with the latest weather when we start our approach to our destination airport. Thank you for your attention, and again welcome on board. Okay, and then let's continue with the briefing as well. Final load sheet is just arriving. So, Copenhagen due to right, order 1 Charlie departure, initial climb 70, MSA, basically 2000 as it's flat land all around. And we have extra fuel for... I was not calculating it, but we should have about 10 minutes extra. Alright, we'll take it like that. Hotspots for taxi routing is crossing our runway 1230. Stop margin for the rejected is about 1,000 meters. Now for our engine outset, we continue straight at 25 miles. Pick up a holding over there. If we need to make an immediate return, we are above the maximum landing weight, so we do the overweight landing procedure. 2 left is already programmed, so an immediate return is possible. If the plane is on fire, we can't do anything, then we are just going to make it a visual traffic pattern and land back. If it's not the engines that's burning, we turn on the APU and APU bleed in order to relieve our bleeds so that we have more go-around power available. I've got nothing special, nothing non-standard. Do you have any questions? No? Beautiful, so that's our briefing complete. Then, one thing we haven't done yet is to cross-check our SID, so let's do that real quick. Hold on 1 Charlie, straight out to Rubat, white, turn Charlie Hotel 815, and then we'll continue via Dobel to Odon. And that's exactly what we've got. Okay, easy going. Very easy going. So, let's call for clearance. ATC menu, ATC data, pre-departure clearance. So, we're at Delta 2, as far as I remember. Yes. ATIS ID is Delta, and we're the SAS 949. Okay. Alright, cool. Let's send that. Fuel report is here as well, 5333. That's in liters, density 0.802. So that's all looking good. Differential 0.3 cent. So, Copenhagen Telex. Expect delay in response until you have an active flight in the simulator with the same intentions uploaded. Oh, interesting. Okay, did we not load that up correctly? Actually, the app didn't connect to the sim. Okay. But very nice that we're actually getting a response there. Okay, so just restart the app, then let's try that one again. And interestingly enough, Say Intentions doesn't want to connect to our sim. Why is that? It tells me we're on the main screen, which we are definitely not. Okay, we'll try to fix that one in the background. In the meantime, let's go ahead and do a little bit of work here. So let's actually start with a load sheet. So it's in compliance with edition number 1, and that's zero fuel weight of 68.3 versus 68.5. So we're 200 kilos down, and we are down 3 passengers. That's okay. And the CG is 27.7. Takeoff weight 92.1, which checks with the load sheet, and accept. Okay, that is looking good so far. Then let's go ahead and do our performance figures. So takeoff CG 30.4. Alright, so that's actually looking quite good. 2 to right, Alpha 1, calculate. And that is conv 2, 0.5 down at 40 degrees. And we've got conv 2 slash down 0.5, 40 degrees. And the speed 68, 68, 69. All of which is checked. Stop margin 200 meters. That's actually quite good. Okay, wonderful. Happy with this. Copenhagen delivery, Scandinavian 909, information alpha, request IFR clearance to Toronto.
Clearance on request, stand by. Scandinavian 949er, information alpha is current. Cleared to Toronto via the Odon 1 Bravo departure runway 12. Initial climb to 5,000 feet. Departure on 118.455 squawk 6714.
Scandinavian 949er, request runway 22 right.
Scandinavian 949er, runway 12 is assigned for departure. Please confirm your clearance and read back correctly.
Scandinavian 949, request runway 22 right. Scandinavian 949, request runway 22 right for the departure.
Scandinavian 949er, runway 22 right is approved for departure. Cleared to Toronto via the Odon 2 Charlie departure, then is filed. Initial climb altitude 5,000 feet, departure on 118.455 squawk 6714.
Scandinavian 949, clear to Toronto, runway 22 right, Odin 1 Charlie departure, climb 5000, departure 118.455, squawk 6714.
Scandinavian 949er, read back correct. Contact ground on 121.905 when ready.
121.905 when ready, Scandinavian 949. Okay, so that was a hassle to get that clearance. 2 to right, Odon 1 Charlie.
Emmanuel, boarding has started and the first passengers are aboard the plane.
5000, 18455, we can
Ladies and gentlemen,
that.
a warm welcome aboard Scandinavian Airlines
And
Flight
squawk
949,
6714.
departing from beautiful Copenhagen and heading to the vibrant city of Toronto. We're thrilled to have you with us today.
Okay, so we're basically
Please
ready.
take your seats according to your boarding
Everything is
passes.
done.
And
The only thing
remember
I
to
really
stow
don't
your
know
hand
is why it
luggage in
doesn't
the
calculate
overhead
anything
bins
down
or
here.
under
There's
the
got to be a
seats in
bug
front
of
of
some
you.
way.
If you need any assistance, don't hesitate
But
to
yeah,
reach out to
no
our
further
friendly crew
comment.
members who are here to help you.
We'll go.
Also,
I'm
just a quick note that on
done
June
with
28th
everything
and
over here.
29th, members of the Say Intentions
Okay,
cabin
so
crew
Freebird
will
813,
participate
Charlie,
in
request
Flight
pushback.
Call for
Expo in
pushback.
Providence. So feel free to stop by and chat with us. Thank you for choosing Scandinavian Airlines.
Pushback and
enjoy
start
your
approved.
flight.
Speedbird 813, Charlie.
Scandinavian 949, request push and start.
Scandinavian 949er, push and start approved, face west.
Push and start approved, face west, Scandinavian 949. Okay, down from flight deck. So, pushback and startup approved facing west, and the parking brake is still set. And we do still have a couple of checklists to do. I don't think we did any of them just yet, did we? So the fuel quantity is fine, the doors are closed, that's the important items, and anything else we can do while we're pushing. So, connection, services, prepare pushback and departure. They should be ready. Okay, facing, oh lovely, they said west. Okay, I don't care, let's do the primary. And park and brake is released. So, the door should be closed. Why does it still say open? Oh, this is not how you would... Okay, I don't care. This is better. Okay, wonderful. So, cockpit preparation checklist and before start checklists, please. Gear pins and covers removed. Fuel quantity 23,940 kilos balanced. Seatbelts on, ADRs. Oh, wrong button. Nav and barrel ref QNH 1014. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. Before start checklist. Park and brake, release, takeoff speeds, and thrust.
Singapore 351 request pushback.
That's V1 168, VR 168, V2 169, flex 40.
Pushback and start approved. Singapore 351.
Closed, and the bacon is on. Before start checklist complete. So, ground from flight deck, we'll be starting engines 1 and 2 in that sequence. And we're commencing engine 1 now. Clear 1. So, wait for the everything to go green. Here we go. Yeah, Singapore is pushing as well. Wow, the A350 looks small compared to the A321.
Tillkomen aboard Scandinavian Airlines Flight 949, departing from Copenhagen and heading to Toronto. My name is
Very
Astrid
interesting
Hansen,
push
the
there
lead
by
flight
the
attendant
AI.
today. Joining me in the cabin are my wonderful colleagues, Lars,
Okay,
Freya,
so
and
push
Magnus.
completed, set brakes.
We are thrilled to have you with us.
And
Our
the
captain
brakes are
today is
set.
Emmanuel,
We've got a good
and
start
our
on one,
first
starting
officer
two.
is Stephanie. Now let's go over some important safety information, eh?
I know
First,
Stephanie.
please ensure your seatbelt is fastened low and tight across your lap. To unfasten, simply lift the buckle. In the unlikely
Okay,
event
number
of a
2 is
loss of cabin
starting.
pressure, oxygen masks will drop down from the panel above you. Pull the mask towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Place it over your nose and mouth.
So, excited to
and
see
secure it
what
with
that
the
Singapore
elastic band.
350 is going to do now.
Remember to secure your own mask before assisting others, eh? We also have life vests located under your seats. In the event of an evacuation, pull the vest out. Place it over your head and pull the straps
So,
to
we've
tighten.
got ignition on engine 2.
Inflate the vest by pulling the red tabs or by blowing into the tubes. In the event of an evacuation, please leave your luggage behind. Your safety is our top priority. Now, regarding emergency exits, we have 2
Alright,
exits
2 good
at
engine
the
starts.
front,
Clear and disconnect,
2
show me
over
the
the
pin on the
wings,
left please,
2
and have a
at
good
the rear
day,
of the
and don't get
aircraft.
run over by
Please take a
another
moment to locate
airplane.
the
It's
nearest
enough if
exit,
you get run over
which may
by
be
us.
behind you. We expect a flight
Okay,
time of
2 good
approximately
starts.
8 hours and 16 minutes, cruising at 32,000 feet. Oh, and just a quick note. After our meal service, we'll be offering items from the Scandinavian
Okay.
Airlines shop, so keep an eye out for
22
that.
degrees, then we can
Thank you
turn
for your
off the pack
attention,
over here.
and we hope you have a
Off
pleasant
the flight
flight.
checklist.
Emmanuel, the cabin is ready for
So,
departure.
where's the hand signal? Nowhere. There she is. Hand signal seen. Good. Okay, so, anti-ice. Off. Ecom starters. Checked. Pitch trim. 30% set. Rudder trim neutral. And that's the checks complete. Scandinavian 949er, request taxi.
Scandinavian 949er, taxi to runway 22 right via Romeo Yankee, Quebec, Foxtrot, cross runway 12, then Alpha Alpha 4.
Scandinavian 949, taxi to runway 22 right by Romeo Yankee, Quebec, Foxtrot, cross runway 12, and Alpha Alpha 4. Okay, so Romeo, that's a 180. Okay, Romeo, Yankee, Foxtrot, Alpha. Okay. Apart from the fact that we have to do a 180, that's actually the taxi routing of the real-world aircraft. Clear on the left side, clear on the right side. And I tell you what, I'm a little too lazy to do 180 here. Scandinavian 949er, can we taxi via Sierra? I know.
Scandinavian 949er, taxi to runway 22 right via Sierra Yankee Quebec Foxtrot, cross runway 12, then Alpha Alpha 4.
Sierra Yankee Quebec Fox cross 12 Alpha Alpha 4 Scandinavian 949. Thank you. Okay, now we can officially do what I would have done anyway. Good, so
751, push and start approved.
now we just gotta ensure that the Singapore doesn't actually overtake, but I'm sure we'll get there. Alright, so Sierra's all the way to the end, then on to Yankee, Foxtrot, Alpha, yeah, and that little part of Quebec there, we'll let that be Quebec, huh? Alright, so brake check. Pressure 0. What's engine 2 doing? Okay, to the right, on to Yankee. So the A350 is still standing there, probably has some technical. It's a flying computer after all, so that does definitely happen. So, we gathered quite a bit of delay. I'm trying to make that up again. So, left on the Foxtrot. Okay, so no changes to the briefing. Clear on the right side, clear on the left side, clear to cross.
Aegean 751, taxi to runway 4 right via Gulf. Gulf 2, cross runway 04 right, then Victor 2, Victor Bravo, cross runway 12, then Bravo 2.
So, on to Alpha.
Ryanair 3 Golf Golf, ready for pushback.
Where's my plane going? Here we go. So, taxi checklists.
Ryanair 3 Golf
And
Golf.
we still got to do the flight controls here. Scandinavian 949er, request intersection Alpha 1. Okay, flight controls. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right.
Scandinavian 9049er,
Neutral.
taxi
Right.
to runway 22 right via Sierra, Yankee, Quebec,
Left.
Foxtrot, cross runway 12,
Right.
then Alpha,
Neutral.
Alpha 1 for intersection departure.
Intersection Alpha 1 approved, Scandinavian 949er, and we are ready for departure. Okay, cabin ready.
Red
as
nose
received.
3250, contact tower on
So, taxi
121.83.
checklist. Flight controls checked. Flap setting.
Over to tower, red nose 3250.
Winch here, on an auto, engine mode selector, norm, and ECAM memo. Takeoff, no blue. Taxi checklist complete. Scandinavian 949er ready for departure.
Scandinavian 9049er, contact tower for departure clearance.
Please confirm that frequency, Scandinavian 949er.
Hello, it's Norman. Let's cabin secure for takeoff.
Thanks, Norman. Of course they don't tell us the frequency. So, departing 109.355. Copenhagen Tower, Scandinavian 9049er ready for departure.
Scandinavian 949er, Castrop Tower, runway 22 right, winds 125 at 15, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 2 to right, clear for takeoff, Scandinavian 9049er. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. So, 2 to right, full length is right over here, identified.
Approaching
Radar check.
2
Winds
right.
130 at
2 to
16,
right,
runway
Alpha
04
1,
left,
TCAS,
cleared to land.
TARA, PAX 1 and 2.
04 left, cleared to
off,
land,
landing
Turkish
sequence
5 Kilo
complete.
Whiskey.
Why are they clearing anyone to land on 2 left? Sorry, on 04 left. That makes no sense, but looking at TCAS, there's actually someone approaching there. And another aircraft. Interesting. Very interesting.
On runway 2 right.
That's checked. Ready? Take off. Manflex 40, SRS, runway, auto thrust blue. Thrust set.
Red nose 3250, contact departure. Switching to departure, red nose 3250.
100 knots, checked. One rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. Nav, checked. Well, let's see what's going to happen with that opposite aircraft here. Can we see him? No. Can we outclimb him? Definitely. Okay, I'll just keep climbing a little bit here.
Traffic.
Let's check.
Scandinavian 949er, contact departure on 118.455.
118.455, Scandinavian 949er. Okay, this should be good. Thrust climb, climb auto thrust. Flaps 1. Speed checked, flaps 1. Copenhagen departure, Scandinavian 949er passing 2,500, climbing 5,000.
Scandinavian 949er, Copenhagen departure identified, climb flight level 050.
Climb altitude 5,000, Scandinavian 949er. I had to say that. Okay, flap 0. Speed checked, flap 0.
Scandinavian 949er, climb flight level 210.
AP2. Climb flight level 210, Scandinavian 949er. Okay, that's 21,000 blue. Well, that was an interesting departure, to put it that way. ATC has just shifted the runway, and then still let us depart. But we had to fight a little bit to get 2 right, so I don't know. I mean, looking at the wind, that was absolutely the right choice to make, so not sure what ATC was doing there. Really not sure. Set standard. Standard cross-check, passing level 5-4 now. In any case, we do have to mention that the traffic simulation from Sane Intentions is still in early alpha, so it is the preview and definitely still needs and will get some development. So speed is selected 255 just to get a little bit of margin to the green dot speed here because that is so incredibly high. We're just rather heavy. But despite being heavy, look at that rate of climb, 3,300 feet a minute. It's just wonderful how overpowered the A321neo
Altimeter
is.
setting.
Yeah, standard is cross-checked. Not sure what it's doing there.
Altimeter setting.
Yeah, I know. I guess there's something wrong with the monitor here. So, altimeter setting is I've disabled that
Runway
call.
awareness. Okay. Meters.
I just went into the VRAS settings and have disabled that. Looks like for whatever reason today all the atoms are trying to screw us. Starting
Scandinavian 949er, climb flight level 270.
Scandinavian 949er, climb level 270.
Climb 20 hotel, contact Copenhagen info on 129.475.
The predictions during the
Dear
pre-flight,
guests,
going
we are now
over
above the safe altitude, and I
GSX,
am
doing
pleased to
GSX
inform
things,
that the use of
going
electronic
over
devices is now allowed.
same
Feel free
intentions
to
that
connect to
didn't
our
want
onboard
to
Wi-Fi
connect at
service
first.
If you have any questions
I don't
or
know
need
what it
assistance,
is.
just
Today,
give us a shout.
everything seems a
Thank
little
you
bit
for flying with
messed.
Scandinavian Airlines and
But
enjoy
well.
your flight.
Passing 10k, running lights off. I don't think there's going to be any turbulence here, so seatbelt's going off.
KLM 902 Whiskey,
Airport.
contact Copenhagen
Clear,
control on 127.865.
Over to Copenhagen control on 127.865, KLM 902 Whiskey.
Optimum 305, maximum 335. That looks pretty good to me. And then we can take Charlie, Yankee, Zulu, runway 23 in here. Then let's just set up for our Atlantic crossing and program a couple of the ETOPS points. So data, pilot's waypoints, new waypoint, ETOPS entry point 1. And that's going to be 6130.4. And 3553.6. Like this. Then we got the ETP, that's going to be Keflavik Yankee Romeo, and that is at 6020.0 and 4355.2. And lastly the exit point, and that's 5827.0 and 5315.9. Like this. Store and fix info, ETOPS entry point 1, Keflavik Yankee Romeo, and ETOPS exit point 1. Okay, let's see.
Scandinavian 949er, climb flight level 320.
Scandinavian 949er, climb flight level 320. Flight level 320 blue. So, the plane estimates us as Mach 0.78 over the Atlantic. Then let's just go ahead and enter that as CMS. So, constant Mach from Balix to Avuti, insert, and that's it. I think that's really all we can do for the time being. Let's see if we can calculate an optimum step. Okay, saves 2 minutes and 100 kilos-ish, if the prediction can decide. I'm just going to insert it like that. We'll see where it's going to put the step, and then we'll decide if we're going to do it or not. Anyway, I think for the time being we've done everything we could.
Lufthansa 1 Juliet Tango, contact Copenhagen info on 129.475. Scandinavian 949er Toronto approach. Good afternoon, Toronto, altimeter 29.97. Expect the ILS runway 23 approach into Toronto.
Expecting the ILS runway 23 approach into Toronto. Scandinavian 949er.
Okay, set QNH. And QNH 29907 cross-checked, passing...
Scandinavian 949er, descend altitude 7,000.
Descend to altitude 7,000. Scandinavian 949er.
So, that's alt 8000 magenta.
Cathay 805, climb and maintain flight level 230.
Alright, so, we're...
Up to flight level 230, Cathay 805.
And I think this is a good moment to start with our...
Scandinavian 949er, speed 220 knots.
Speed 220 knots, Scandinavian 949er. Alright, so reducing 220, let's just help the plane a little bit while we do that. Speed, vertical speed. Yeah, then we can go for the briefing. So, we're arriving in Toronto. EMEVA 3 arrival for an ILS approach into runway 23 right. Now, our approach itself is going to be probably straight in, and the minimum 808. In case of a go-around, we will... Here we go, climb to 1100, and then intercept 287 inbound to ICDOT, climbing 3000. Open descent, thrust idle, and 7,000.
Scandinavian 949er, proceed direct Calvi. Descend altitude 3000 until established on the localizer, cleared for the ILS runway 23 approach.
Scandinavian 949er, direct Calvi, descend and maintain 3000 until established, cleared ILS 23. Alright, that was easy. So direct to Calvi, 3000 blue, and well, we are basically at 220 at the clean speed, so let's activate our approach phase and manage speed. Alright, very good. So it's
Captain,
ILS
cabin is
approach.
ready.
Thank you. It's an ILS approach to runway 23.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are
guided
now
Air
on
Canada
the final
505,
approach.
contact Toronto Center on
Please turn off your
128.275.
electronic devices and stow them until we arrive at the gate.
Switching to Toronto Center on 128.275 feet, Air Canada 505.
A couple of
Right position.
sorry, a couple
Don't
of
forget to
runways,
fasten your
so
seatbelts.
good look
Once
outside
we
as
land,
we're
our
doing that.
Scandinavian
Well,
airline
apart
staff
from
will
that, I've
provide you
got
with information regarding your connecting
non-standard
flights.
and nothing
Thank you for
special.
your
Anything
cooperation.
from your side? No? Lovely. So that's our briefing completed. Then we've passed 10,000, so...
Air Canada 1154, contact Toronto Center on 124.925.
LS, and that's gonna go for both sides. And then we've got GPS primary, high accuracy,
Over to
and the
Toronto
engine
Center on
mode selector is
124.925, Air Canada
Alright.
1154.
So, approach checklist please. Barrel ref, QNH 29907/1015. Seatbelts on, minimum, barrel 808. Yeah, auto brake, low, and engine mode selector, norm. Approach checklist complete. Okay, excellent. So that's pretty much everything done. Temperature is +20.
Air Canada 414, contact Toronto Center on 124.925.
Okay, I did remember to turn anti-ice off again.
Over to
That is a
Toronto
good
Center
thing.
on 124.925, Air Canada 414.
And I think we will need a little bit of speed brake here. Let's do half. Help the airplane get down a little bit. And of course that puts us right into VLS. How about a quarter speed brake? Is that doing better? Also not. Huh, okay. Well, in that case, flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1. And speed 220 selected. So that brings the VLS down. That way we descend a little bit better. I didn't think that that would be necessary, but okay, nothing you can do. Now it looks a lot better. Okay, so let's quickly have a look into the weather and just collect the latest again. So, weather is ordered. And here we go. It's 270 at 15, gust 21. 32 degrees, 2998 according to the Asus. They tell me 2997, I'm happy with that as well. And here we are, out of the clouds. Lovely. Well, and I think that's it for the time being. So, speed brakes going back in. Don't think we'll need them anymore. When our level of arrow is somewhere close to that diesel point down here, then I'm happy. And it is now.
JetBlue 323, contact Toronto Center on 128.275. Over to Toronto Center on 128.275, she said JetBlue 323.
So, it's a beautiful day down here. A little bit windy, but that's quite nice with those temperatures of 32 degrees. What else can you ask for? Well, I know what you can ask for. But if I say that on this video, then it's probably not going to end up well in regards to the channel's monetization, so I will better not say it. Okay, a little bit of traffic here. I wonder what that guy is doing. Can we see him? No. I can just see a couple of bugs on my windscreen. But I suppose bugs don't have transponders.
2,500.
Speed all star. Manage speed. Okay, there is the other aircraft. Doesn't look like he's going onto our runway. Probably going on to 24 left or right.
Scandinavian 949er traffic at your 12 o'clock, 2 miles. Same altitude, type unknown.
Scandinavian 949er traffic in sight, and it's Boeing 767. And if it's close enough that I can tell you this, then you know that you've done something wrong.
Scandinavian 949er, roger. Maintain visual separation from the Boeing 767.
We'll go Scandinavian 949er. Well, that was ATC making its life a little easy. Well, too easy for my taste.
Scandinavian 949er negative. Traffic is Porter 302, Embraer 195 at your 1 o'clock, 1.3 miles, altitude 3500 feet.
Well, good that you found out. It's better late than never.
Scandinavian 949er, contact Toronto Tower on 118.35.
118.35, Scandinavian 949er. Hello,
Nice, Norman. Yep, that's the cabin secure for landing.
Thank you, Norman.
See you on the ground, bye.
Cheers. Okay, glass look alive. Toronto Tower, Scandinavian 949, established ILS 23. Flaps 2. Speed check.
Scandinavian 949er, Toronto Tower, winds 270 at 15, gusting 21, runway 23, clear to land.
Runway 23, clear to land, Scandinavian 949er. Okay, nice. Go around altitude 3000 set, and we've got Cat 1, glide slow. Alright, gear down. Flaps 3. Speed checked. Flaps 3. And flaps 4. Speed checked. Flaps full. Landing checklist. Ecam memo. Landing no blue. Landing checklist complete. Alright, that is looking really, really good so far. runway is in sight. We are stable, nice and early. I'll keep auto thrust engaged today because of the gusts. In the meantime, let's already prepare the ground shrouds here. Okay.
$1,000.
Checked.
Approaching. 2, 3.
That's checked.
$500.
It's interesting. Auto thrust has a tendency to fly a little bit too slow in here, and actually on the A330 it's quite similar. Land. So that may be a feature, not a bug.
Minimum.
Continue. Do a little downdraft here. And the sim is hanging. And here we go.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 10.
So, spoiler, reverse green. Water brake killed itself. Manual brakes. Oh, here we go. Brake low. Okay, manual brakes. Okay. 8 hours.
Scandinavian 949er, welcome to Toronto. Contact ground on 119.1. 302, contact ground on 119.1. Ground, port 302.
119.1, Scandinavian 949er.
Gentlemen, welcome to Toronto. We have just landed safely at Lester B. Pearson International Airport. The local time is 3:28 p.m.
Ground Scandinavian 949er, runway vacated.
Avian Airlines today. Did you know that Toronto is home to the CN Tower, which was once the tallest freestanding structure in the world? And if you're a fan of diverse cuisine, you're in for a treat here. Please remain seated until we reach our final parking position. We hope you enjoyed your flight with us, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Okay, I think we might just have to stop it over here, because we can't just cross that runway unless ground responds. And he doesn't seem in the mood at the moment. Okay, so I tell you what, let's quickly find out where we want to park. Should of course have done all of that earlier, but yeah. So taxi, parking areas. No, not the infield. Where is it? It's interesting, this looks quite different from Flight Radar 24.
Ground, Porter 302, taxi to the ramp.
So let's check the airport chart. If it loads.
Porter 302, taxi to
Right,
parking
so
via
this
Delta
is where
8
we
Delta,
go.
Charlie 4, Charlie Alpha,
As far as
Alpha
I can
Kilo
tell. So
5.
via Alpha Echo. And
Delta 8, Delta,
then
Charlie 4, Charlie Alpha, Alpha Kilo 5, Porter 302.
This is interesting. This looks like completely different from Flight Radar 24. Okay, probably up here. Alpha 2 or something. Toronto ground, Scandinavian 9049er. Request taxi to gate Alpha 2. Talk to me, Goose.
Scandinavian 9049er, taxi to runway 22 via Sierra, Yankee, Quebec, Foxtrot, cross runway 12, then Alpha, Alpha 2 approved.
Scandinavian 9049er, request taxi to gate Alpha 2. Not a bloody runway. Didn't I tell you today is, I don't know, today everyone's doing weird things.
Scandinavian 9049er, taxi to gate Alpha 2 via hotel, cross runway 15 right, then Golf, Echo, Romeo, cross runway 15 left, then Alpha Tango. Have a good day.
Scandinavian 9049er, taxi to gate Alpha 2 via hotel, cross runway 15 right, Golf, Echo, Romeo, cross 15 left, Alpha Tango, YouTube. Alright, well, here we are, better late than never. Okay, so we continue by hotel, Golf, Echo, Romeo, to the gate.
Eddie had 8 Mike Yankee ready to taxi.
Okay, let's go. So we're clear to cross 15 right.
Eddie had 8 Mike Yankee, taxi
So
to runway
that is
24
better.
right via 5 Alpha Kilo Alpha Delta.
Approaching runways.
Clear left, clear right.
24 right
Okay,
via
clear
5
to
Alpha
cross,
Kilo
continue.
Alpha Delta. Eddie had 8
Golf,
Mike Yankee.
Echo, Romeo. No, not you. Strobe light. Here we go. That's the one I was looking for. Okay, great. So, at least we had a good landing, even though I gotta admit I didn't feel anything of those gusts they said to have here. Not sure why, but I guess I don't want to know. So, Golf to the right. Gonna do something illegal here. You can immediately hear how the airplane complains. And same thing again. That was much too fast for those turns. But yeah. So, down to 25. Okay, so gate Alpha 2. Okay, Romeo is next to the left. For this one we definitely got to be a little bit slower. So down to 10 knots. And then we clear the cross. Interesting, says Romeo on the left side. Okay, on the right as well. I thought I read Golf for a moment. So, no traffic on the left, no
Approaching
traffic on the right.
15 left.
Good. It cleared across. Okay, so Romeo, Alpha Tango, Gate number Alpha 2 on the satellite terminal. It looks like we'll be the only ones over there. But well, I'm not gonna complain. So, connection, services. Come on, open it up. We have ground services there? Maybe. Can't really tell. But as long as the GSX control window... Here it is. Okay, look at that. They sent us a follow me. Now we gotta stop hard because... Here he is. That was... ingenious, GSX. That was ingenious.
Order 302, give way to the Etihad A350 on your left.
Okay, lights are off, weather radar is off.
Give way to the Etihad A350, Porter 302.
Radar and predictive wind shear off. After landing checklist complete. Now we did it. Okay, A321neo is on the guidance system. Let's take it nice and slow. Man, these brakes are interesting in here. The FSLabs was easier to control. Now it's not moving at all. Okay. So, a little bit of power. Here we go. And stop. This is not... Oh, you are kidding me today. Okay. Parking brake set. Shutdown 2. Then let's get ground power. Options, external controls, GPU connect. And shut down 1. Cabin crew, all doors in park. Alright, both engines running down. And then slide set disarmed. Wonderful. Okay, parking checklist please. Parking brake or trucks? Well, the brakes are set.
Ground, Rouge 1819er, taxi to the ramp.
Wing light off and fuel pumps
Rouge
off.
1819er, taxi to parking via Juliet. Cross runway
Beautiful.
33 left,
We
then
made
cross
it.
runway 33 right, then Bravo.
Man,
Cross runway
this was
23,
quite a bit of
then
work.
Romeo, Alpha Tango.
So, connect the trucks please.
Juliet, cross runway 33 left,
Next
then
to
cross
east.
runway 33 right, then Bravo, cross runway 23,
Okay,
then
GSX,
Romeo, Alpha Tango,
request.
Rouge 1819er.
And, okay, deboarding has already been requested. Nice. So, door controls, and one left is opening. Very good. Now, for us, ATC, transponder, standby, and 2000. Like this. Fuel, we used 19.8. So, preconditioned air is connected. Excellent. We'll turn the packs off. Okay, let's see. Expected fuel usage was 20.5 and we used 19.8. Okay, saved 700 kilos. That is not too shabby, I'm not gonna complain. Then, data, position monitor, and the IRSs have run much better than I would have expected for a flight like this, but it's fine. It's a new aircraft, perhaps they just run a little bit better in here. Alright, 1, 2, 3 off, and I think that's pretty much it. So, lights off, signs off, we'll keep the emergency lights until all the passengers are off, batteries off, and that's it. So, let's do the secure checklist, please. So that's oxygen. Off, emergency exit lights to go, EFBs off, batteries off, securing the aircraft checklist complete. Well, my friends, that was one of those days where you would gladly go to the hotel bar later on and just say, alright, next time will be a little bit better. Lots of things that went wrong today, but that's part of the job, and we eventually made it to our destination, which ultimately is the only thing that counts. So, thank you very much for flying along. I do hope that you found this one interesting, and that you had some fun despite some of the issues that we went through. Thank you very much for watching. I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one. In the meantime, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. And if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, why not consider a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.